أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي ربنا زدنا علما آمين يا رب العالمين. Welcome to lesson number 66 of our study of Ilm al-Balagha. Alhamdulillah, we have started Ilm al-Bayan, and in Ilm al-Bayan we are doing al-Haqiqa wal-Majaz. And today, inshallah, we are going to continue with the connectors that are related with Majaz al Mursal. Itabar Makana, today's this is our topic. Sometimes who we used to be still echoes in how people speak to us, and in Arabic language, this echo becomes eloquence. So the past is not just a memory, it becomes a powerful tool in expression. Today we are going to explore how Arabic language does this through Etibar Makana, referring to something by what it used to be. So let's see. We started with Majaz al-Lugwi, and we know that it has two types, al-Isti'ara and Majaz al-Mursal. Majaz al-Mursal, we know that it is a metaphor without the use of any analogy, and then we have istiara, that is a metaphor with the use of the analogy. So for Majaz and Mursal, we know that there are different types of connectors, indicators, or tools that tells us that this sentence is indeed a metaphor. We are done with Sababiya. We have also studied about al Musababiya. Then we have done in the previous session Juzia and al Kulliya. Today, inshallah, we are going to continue with Itibar Ma Kana. So, Itibar Ma Kana, what is Itibar Ma Kana? Referring to something by a quality or title it used to have in the past. So, Itibar Makana means describing a person or thing using a name, a title, or attribute they used to have, even though they no longer have it now. Now, in other words, you refer to something based on its past state, not the current one. And why would this be done? Like just to exaggerate the emotions, to just to remind others of a past condition, to emphasize a message. So the word used is technically not true anymore, but it is still valid because it's intentionally used to reflect something meaningful about the past. And this type falls under al-majaz al-mursal alaqatuhu itabar makana, a type of majaz mursal where the relation is based on what was. So here we know that it's in itabar makana we are reminded that the past may fade, but the language can revive it beautifully, meaningfully, and with purpose. So here in Islam, we know that a yatim is a child whose father passed away before they reach the age of the maturity, the blue. Once the child grows up and becomes mature, he is no longer technically, you can say, called yatim. So he is now considered a man. But if someone still calls him a yatim, even after he has reached maturity, that's etibar makana, referring to him by what he used to be. So this is Etibar Makana. So the speaker is basically remembering a past state or identity to highlight something meaningful, and that past label is used intentionally in place of the current one. So a person or thing had a certain title or state in the past. Now that title no longer applies, but we still use it as if it does. So, because it brings a deeper emotional, social, and moral meaning in the context. So, as we are done with this, we know that this in Islam, a yatim is a child who has lost their father before reaching the maturity, and once that child grows up and reaches adulthood, he's no longer called a yatim. Now he is now just a man or a jul. But we are going to check this example now. Look at how beautifully the Quran uses this old identity when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَآتُوا الْيَتَامَى أَمْوَالَهُمْ, and give the orphans their wealth. Surah, this is from Surah Nisa, ayah number 2. And give the orphans their wealth. Even though these people are now adults, Allah still refers to them as yatim. And why? To remind the caretakers of their past, like where we can say that vulnerability, to inspire mercy and fairness, and to emphasize that their wealth should be returned to them with kindness. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used their old title instead of their current status, and that is called al-majaz al-mursal ala katubu itibar ma kana. So this is just figurative expression based on what used to be. And why we are using the past title, because the past experience is still emotionally and ethically so relevant. It softens the hearts and sets a tone of responsibility. Like in other cases, the reason might be different. Sometimes it's for emphasis, sometimes to evoke memory or to show status change. Context is, you can say, is the key. So, this is like how Etbar Makana has been used in the Quran. Also, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in couple of verses after that, وَابْتَلُوا الْيَتَامَى حَتَّى إِذَا بَلَغُوا النِّكَاحَ فَإِنْ آنَسْتُم مِّنْهُمْ رُشْدًا فَادْفَعُوا إِلَيْهِمْ أَمْوَالَهُمْ, and try orphans as regards their intelligence until they reach the age of marriage. If then you find sound judgment in them, release their property to them. So again, it's like describing something that they were in the past. So this is about now that we know that these orphans became men, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that wa'atul yatama amwalhum, and give the orphans their wealth. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used their former titles, and like they were being orphans, so now they are men. So this is the reason for just to remind those in change of the wealth to be merciful to them and to give them their right. So this is the reason the past has been referred as their title. So it is a very beautiful example of al-majaz al-mursa ala qaddu wal itibar ma kana. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, we are done with this as well. So in itibar, uh, this ma kana, we are reminded that the past may fade, but language can revive it beautifully, meaningfully, and with purpose. Inshallah, I'm going to see you in the next session with another connector. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.